Welcome to Showmance. We do deep dives on shows with no depth. That's our jam. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button and join us. Our next few weeks are going to be a little weird around here, schedule-wise and host-wise. Maybe I won't be here for some episodes. Maybe some episodes will go out late. Yeah, these two are so sad about it. We mentioned this in our last episode that we just did on Summer House. I work on America's Got Talent. We go into production tomorrow for the next 4 weeks. And that's where I will be, probably for the next 4 weeks. I'll have a few days off here and there, and that's when we're going to try to film, but it won't be our regular days. So bear with us. I know you guys that watch will. I'm more talking to YouTube's algorithm. Bear with us, YouTube.
Yeah.
Keep
Cool,
shoving
man.
it. Don't be a
Just
G.
Don't be all uncool.
Yeah, people have lives. That being said, if we can kill 500,000 subs in the next 4 weeks, we'll do this full
We'll
time.
just stream
Same.
live
I'll
all
sell my
day.
company
do that.
and we'll
Yeah,
just be-
Courtney will go
Yeah.
topless. She's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
I will absolutely go topless.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, my right one is the better one, and that's closer to the camera.
500,000 subs. It's not too much to ask. Pew, pew, pew.
Come on.
Anyways,
man.
let's get to the reason you guys are really here. For those of you who haven't clicked out yet, because you could give 2 beeps about where the hell I'm going to be. And that is Shep finally got his ass broken up with.
Finally.
That was
I
Oh my
feel
cool.
like
God.
Yeah,
I
that took
feel
a
like
while.
Sierra just is like ding ding. Oh, 5:30. Time to go dump Shep again. Like she just dumps him every day. The only thing that changes is like what he wears to get dumped in.
But
It
here's
was
the
official
thing.
this time.
It's official. But she never actually... She's the most frustrating character to me ever. First of all, she talks so slowly. And she says 1 to 2 sentences. Like, speak. Tell him you don't like him. Everything is, well, we love each other, right? I wouldn't say love. What would you say? Say anything resembling anything.
So 2 things. I got 2 theories.
Please.
So when I first moved here, I had my friend Hoosty, Justin Branch. He lives in Texas. You know Hoosty. We would get wasted on his roof at like 9 in the morning, start drinking mimosas and doing our thing.
God.
Yeah. And it was fun. And we would develop TV shows and we'd try to pitch them and sell them and all that. Justin's roommate was a guy named TJ. He was in his residency at UCLA to literally be a neurosurgeon, like a straight up brain surgeon. And it was funny because he would have like these 48-hour shifts or whatever. And Justin and I would be drinking and partying and being like, oh, what if we did a show where like these dogs pooped on baby, like just the dumbest shows ever. And TJ would come home and be like, oh, hey, how's it go? After like a 2-day shift. And we'd be like, bro, check out this new game show. And we'd pitch him the dumbest things. And we'd be like, anyways, how was your day? And he'd be like, oh, well, this morning I took a tumor out of a 6-year-old's brain. Yesterday I saved a lady. Like, these are what TJ's doing. But TJ was also super weird, never really talked, was ridiculously smart. And so, like, unless you were talking about brain surgery stuff, and I don't even know what that is, like, TJ was not engaging. Like, he just didn't know what to do. He was super awkward, right? I get that same vibe. And I'm like, dude, because she's just got
So
accepted to medical school. That probably the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just got accepted. Apparently, she wants to be a neurosurgeon. She started this blood lab in the Bahamas. Like, so she's clearly like, she's not smart. She's like, oh, you're a weirdo. Like and I mean
Mensa.
that obviously in the best way possible. So, yeah, like even above that, right? Because even Mensa is pretty basic nowadays.
I don't think there is anything above Mensa.
No, there is. Mensa's
Okay.
not even. It's
You
got
don't
like that
know.
150 to
You
get
don't
in
know.
there. That's like preschool. But my point is, it's like when you're like, it's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. No, for her it is. So like, I think there's 2 things going on. One, that's an awkward person who has a hard time relating to normals. And 2, I think that she said, she's like, we were never even in a relate. So I think she's probably just like, what is happening?
I think you're right.
How did I find myself in this situation? I am Miss Bahama. I'm going to be a brain surgery school. Like,
I started a blood lab.
what am I doing here? Is this happening? Is this dude seriously telling me that we're in love and having babies and we never even, like, I think she's just
Well,
like,
you know how you put
fucking
the
tripping.
connections together when you're like, oh, this is TJ. When
Yeah.
you were watching her,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
just so uber smart that
Yeah.
this is why she's like this. I put the connections together when Nat's like, she's boring to me. I'm not impressed with her. Mike and I are so impressed with her. And I'm like, oh, this is why Nat is so out on this chick.
I can't.
Because
I'm like
Madison is like a
waiting.
firecracker and she's
Yes.
full of life. Listen, I live for Madison. Like, she has so gotten me this season. But Madison's not a brain surgeon. I just think they communicate differently.
Sure, I just don't see why anyone would choose their partner based off their resume. You know, like I mean,
Shep-
well, like
Well,
I mean,
Shep,
women,
though.
women
Yeah,
can,
Shep would totally.
but like for a dude, it just seems like you would just want someone. I don't know. It just like I said, I'm sure she's phenomenal, but I don't. I believe that Shep has dated many phenomenal women that are. Listen, I don't care about brain surgeons, so like I don't care. This doesn't
Until
impress
you need
me.
brain surgery.
let's hope you're not gonna need one.
Yeah. But like then I'll just go to one. I don't need to be married to one.
Well, you're going to
Like,
have to scrub these tapes off the internet because they're
Yeah.
going to be watching our show.
Also,
They're gonna be
this doesn't
like,
have
let
to
her
go in,
die.
but are you going to be upset that your boobies are showing?
Are they?
I mean, I
How
haven't
do you want
noticed,
us
but
to
I
get to
have
half
been.
a million subscribers,
I'm
Mark?
not going to be upset, but I've heard from a day and a half that her bra was out one day. She was so mad I didn't even notice.
No. And
So,
then
like,
I
I
remember
just
being
don't-
like the second
like there,
someone
right
said something,
there,
like,
just
it was
a peak.
camisole, but it wasn't.
Like
I
just
didn't know.
It's funny when Mike says
It is.
brassiere. Well, he said bra, but
Yeah,
it's funny.
I'll just keep it buttoned up over,
over
here,
the
my
shoulder boulder
church
holder.
lady.
It's funny.
I just don't want you to feel
I
bad. I'm
appreciate
trying to
that.
help you
Thank
out.
My hair was so bad at the end of this last
Okay, well, I
episode.
feel like Courtney's kind of taking over that job from me, so
Don't blame
talk
me.
to
but,
her. I'm going to be Paige in this situation. You need to talk to her. Don't take it up with me.
Can we top of the pops?
Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that Top of the Pops is like the top of the pop charts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about this on
It's
an
not like the
episode.
beginning of a thing or the start of a thing.
I know. We've talked about this.
Mm.
I mean, I don't. I actually, I don't think I was here for that
It's a
because
TV,
I didn't know
it's
that.
a British
Yeah,
TV
you said
show,
I've never heard
music
anyone
show.
say
Oh
that
yeah, I
before.
said, and you just said it was British, right? I didn't know it was what you just said.
It's a music show from Britain
the
called
UK.
Top of the Pops, but
Ah.
the top it's top of the,
The
pop,
pop
charts.
charts.
So it's a music show about the top 10 on the pop
And I
charts. that
listened
week.
to
one
it
is
when
the
I lived
Maccabees.
I listened to it when I
What's that,
lived in
Craig?
London. Top
Jesus
of the pops.
Christ.
The Maccabees.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, top of the pops.
Before we top of the pops, I have
Yeah.
a funny side note.
Oh yeah, I
As
love
I
your
was
side
doing my
notes.
little bit of research. So we have said multiple times, and I'm sure every podcast that talks about this show and everyone who watches this show has said 1,000 billion times that these dudes are Peter Pan, living the
Yeah.
Peter Pan life, right?
I think that was in the pitch.
Do you want to know what the first episode of Southern Charm was called?
What?
Peter Pan Syndrome, S-I-N. Peter Pan Syndrome. So
Wow.
apparently Whitney knew more than we did.
That's great. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, great.
Side
Now
note.
we can get started.
The necklace will not die. We start off the top of the episode, Shep talking about this
Yeah.
goddamn necklace.
How funny is Craig, though? Do you think it's weird if I give her the necklace? I think it's weird if she comes to dinner. So if she comes to dinner, give her the necklace. Like that
Yeah,
was
the
the
necklace
best
isn't
thing.
a problem. She's at
Craig's-
dinner. It's already
Yeah,
things have already gone awry. Spell
Oh.
awry.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
so
god, that
Sheppian.
was the most.
Yeah.
I have that note that such a dumb joke because it's him asserting himself the only way he can because he feels like such a loser because now Craig's got this business. Craig's in this successful at the time relationship. People seem to be passing him by. And this guy who all he's ever done is, get blackout drunk and live off Grandpappy's mailbox
Railroad
money.
apparently, which
Yeah,
I don't think I
railroad money. I
realized
didn't know
that.
that.
Grandpappy's railroad money.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Who said
oh,
I thought it was dog money?
Yeah.
Was that Madison?
I don't remember.
It was so funny.
and all of a sudden Craig is giving him the best advice, serving up the truth to him. And the only insult he can think to serve back is spell awry.
The funny part though about Craig giving him all this advice was like it was such a fine. If she comes to this, fine. But if she does this, then we're doing this. No, if she does that, we're doing my thing. Then my thing. Then it was such a high school conversation. Like I imagine two just junior high school, not junior high, but just juniors in high school being like, if she's at the party and she's talking to that guy, then we're not invite her to Lake Berryessa.
Yeah.
It's my boat. It's your dad's boat. Well, my dad gave me the keys to the boat and said I could take it, and I'm
it's
paying
my
for the gas. Well, I'm paying for the beer. Well, you drink shitty beer. I don't even like your beer. Whatever. Just listen to me, bro. Come on, it's gonna be great. Just listen. Come on, just trust me, bro. Like that's how Craig was talking to Shep of like, he's like, but we have connection. No, you don't. Not anymore. You're broken up now. And then like he was just like telling, like, you don't talk, like adult men are not listening to another adult man like tell them like this is how this is gonna go. Certainly not Shep.
Listen, yeah, sure, but like aside from their age, these are not adult men. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Giving a little too
Why
much
would
credit
Shep
there.
even ask his like Craig, I have a question. You're gonna think I'm stupid. Yeah, bro.
You don't
are
even need to
so
ask the
stupid.
question.
This is basically the third episode of the same exact episode. Like, right? Like, if you think about how each have started and ended, it just seems like
It's Groundhog Day.
same episode.
Honestly, I was waiting for Bill Murray to make an appearance.
They
Yeah.
milked this trip.
But I
so
do
hard.
think they totally did because nothing was happening this season. I do think, though, that Craig so badly was trying to not have a repeat of last night where Shep just gets blackout drunk and falls asleep on a like that was deeply disturbing to Craig.
I'm still with like again. These are now 3 episodes are all melded into one because they were all one episode, 3 hours long. Excuse me. But when they were doing when she came originally, right, and they were like, "Bro, put a shirt on, do your hair, stop looking like it," like and. Everyone was like, "What's going on? Why are they being mean to him?" And I think I just said it. I don't remember. I think maybe that was the first time we ever agreed on something in our lives. But like, it was. It seemed to me more like them just getting tired of this behavior. What are we doing here? Do I need a lip liner, pencil?
You don't.
This honestly would be your color.
You don't not need one.
What do you mean?
Keep going. We're listening.
What was I saying?
How
No,
great our
seriously.
lips look.
Yeah, they do look pretty nice. Well, really, what was I saying?
I said that what's his name didn't want a repeat of him drunk in the chair. And you said, no, this is what's actually happening.
So it's like when they were the few episodes when they were like, put a shirt on, and everyone thought they were being funny or mean to Craig. And I was like, no, I think, or mean to Shep. I think Craig is finally just like, kind of realized that Shep might be real or not in a place, and he's like a little tired of it. So I don't know if that conversation was as much, even though that was a funny analogy. Oh, I'm taking my boat. What's your dad's boat? Like, as much as it was an adult friend telling an adult friend, bro, we're done. Throw in the towel. We're out. Just stop, dude.
That's how I took it.
Stop. Shep,
Yeah,
stop. Finally
yeah.
said, because even Austin's like, dude, you're being so mean. And Craig's like, no, bro, it's time to be mean. This guy is like, whoo, cuckoo to mess. He's cuckooed
He's
himself
off the
out.
reservation.
Off
Like,
of it.
Yeah.
Like so hard. So I don't know if it was, I think it was more just Craig kind of being frustrated and almost having the Sierra moment where he's like, what are we doing? What is going on,
He
dude?
said in
Is
the
this
after
real?
show
Is this
something
real life?
like about how he kept trying. He's like, I kept thinking, God, Shep's gonna start to get pissed. Shep's gonna get pissed at me. He's gonna get pissed any second.
Craig
He's,
said that?
Yeah, and he's like, and then he just never did because he was so delusional.
Right.
Like he wasn't even hearing what I
Yeah,
was
dude.
saying or what anyone was saying. So we never got mad. So that was good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy he said it. Someone needed him to say it. I'm not going to reference the Muppet Babies again, but sometimes you just
Oh, just
But
probably
she did.
saving it
Give
for
me one of those
later.
so I can. Yeah.
no. Sometimes you just need to snap out of it.
Right, but I think he's been doing that every episode. Like maybe a little more this time, but like this has been
the
going
most
on
forceful
for 3 days.
Yes, I just think this is the most forceful he's been. And Austin's just this weenie in the back being like, you're being so mean to him. Someone needs to be.
I know.
Because this
It was
guy's not
funny.
getting it.
When they were in that back, when Austin was in the back, like doing this number to Craig, that was pretty funny.
Yes.
I miss Austin.
I know,
Dude.
me too. He was such a wet noodle this season.
Yeah, but I don't want to skip ahead. That last scene. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, we're not skipping ahead. We
I
have to earn
can't
that.
wait till,
It's so good.
Anywho, so the question for you, with the whole and this is going to seem like so out of left field, and you're going to be like, wait, what the hell have you been yapping on about for the last few weeks? Also, spoiler alert, I might be leaning towards this rehab story.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the other one. I'm like,
Me too. I was just going to be like,
What? Wait, which one? Whoa, what? Which one? What other one?
no, I mean, because all we've been talking about, like in length, is the whether this is a staged performance.
Yeah,
so
no, that's what I'm saying. Stay tuned.
you guys,
No,
we
Hundo.
did it.
It's not even. Listen, we'll get there. But it's put some lip liner on. No, seriously. Whoa, you guys.
I say we wrap it up. Like
Yeah.
I've seen what I need to see, heard what I need to hear.
yeah, you said you're starting to believe the rehab story?
ZB.
I was saying
and
something
me.
else.
Gotcha.
And then you guys distracted me, and you put
My
words in my
God, you
mouth,
need to
and
get
now
better at
you're
remembering.
sorry.
Craig's
I've
out
been
of
at work for 87 hours with 400 people asking me for things. I got a question.
Yeah.
Is there, with the necklace, do you think there's a world where he's like trying to get at Taylor in it, like to be like, to cause a reaction to get her to come back? Do you know what I mean? Like, I know we've talked about, oh, there definitely doesn't, but I've never seen it from Shep's side. I've seen it from her side, but I've never thought that, oh, I haven't seen Shep yet pursue it. When he did the necklace to Sierra and the Sienna, I was like, wait a minute. And they kept cutting back to when his video with the birthday, and I'm pretty sure we had talked about this, and I don't think we agreed, but I'm pretty sure when he was like, I'm going to give this necklace to Sierra and see Sienna and see see what happens and see if Taylor like smirks about it or whatever. Like, he had said something. You thought he said, I hope she doesn't. I think he said, I hope she does.
Didn't.
Regardless, he said it smirkingly. So is there a thing where is he trying to get Taylor back?
Listen, I haven't totally thought about it, but like I have not gotten the feeling as of yet that he's doing anything that has anything to like. I think he's got his hands full with the story that I've concocted.
I agree.
Yeah, listen, I don't disagree, but it was just a thing that popped into my head during that exchange when they got to dinner and she was showing, and I was like, wait a minute, are you doing this?
But
for
yes,
the blonde?
I do think I had thought that from the beginning, that I've always said that he likes it that Taylor, he likes to get a reaction from Taylor. He likes to keep the Taylor story going. And I've said that she always acts like, I wish that Shep would just stay out of my business. And I say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You love this shit. The second he stops paying attention to you, your whole life will unravel. And that, and I stand by it. Now, I do also think that Shep, I think that they do this kind of thing to each other for right this moment. Like I said, I think he's a little hands full with his current situation.
Sienna.
But this entire time, he has been that way with Taylor. I've always thought that he's always trying to be like, Taylor, are you okay? No, stop asking. It's none of your business. Like, oh, but I just want to see if Taylor's okay. Yeah, we heard you the 37 times you've said that this morning, and we would like you to please stay out of Taylor's life. So it could be carrying on. Maybe he never stopped. It just like hasn't really been my focus as of late. I've been focused
I'm with
on,
you.
Yeah, some other things.
The next scene that we get into after they're in their room, and I just have to touch on this really quickly, even though it's such a nothing burger of a scene, is when Whitney walks in to
Totally
Madison's room.
naked?
Whitney wasn't naked.
Totally naked walking
Oh.
into the girls' room? That was disgusting.
Because he's in white on white and his skin is so pale.
Oh,
Wait, he was wearing white clothes?
Haha. When he walks in, he's like, knock, knock, Santa Claus is here. I'm like,
He's so creepy.
there's nothing you say lands. It's not funny, dude. Like, it's just, you're the rich guy walking in with a bottle of Vouv or Veuve, however you
what
pronounce
does his
it.
hat say?
Oh, it was something.
Something Jesus was like
Redneck-
hillbilly.
redneck Jesus.
Redneck. That's right.
Like, you know that he tried to look so casual, but that's such a curated look with his $300 t-shirt and his stupid trucker hat. And trucker hats are fine. I just am angry with Whitney because I just feel like he's just walking in to pour some champagne, to be drunk some more.
But Whitney is full blown leaning in to his old creepy rich guy era.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not here for
100%
it.
What did you
pills,
say? What-
popping the pills, not even like doesn't even care that he's so fucking wasted.
And gross.
It's just the creepiest creepster. And like, I don't know if these are true, and you can leave it in, leave it out. But there might be some rumors that Whitney is a little mini Weinstein-y, if you want. And
Really?
if,
Consider the source.
yeah.
But also consider the person.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a rumor that's out there?
Yeah, but it's from Thomas Ravenel.
Oh, right. I forgot that.
I'm like,
Um,
you sent it to me.
Yeah, sorry. Like Micah just said,
I'm the problem.
he's worked a full day.
Yeah.
My brain is melting a little bit.
So I just feel like he's leaning into that creeper era for sure.
This is where, because I have to go back, because I didn't used to dislike Whitney this much, okay?
Yeah.
I've got to get, like...
I used to like Whitney. Like
I
Whitney
like him
was-
again. I'm back on the Whitney
Oh
train.
my God.
I'm
I
not
know.
figured.
No,
right
listen,
now.
it's my same thing. Like how I said with Kyle. Like you're such a loser, but you're so entertaining, and that is what I think. Like Whitney now. Like if you can just get on board with like what they're bringing, which is just like this character who is like no other. And if you fired Whitney, like sure, the show would totally go on. He's like barely there as it is, but there's no one to replace the character of Whitney, and who has the mother in the biggest
Yes.
house in Charleston. That's in a historical society. Like all
Yeah.
those things. So.
I know.
I do think,
What?
though...
I just don't. In the lately, this season for sure, and maybe the last 2 seasons. I don't like Whitney. I don't think Whitney's so great that he's like the best evil guy or the best one-liner or the
Well,
best.
he's
Like
on
he's just
drugs
not.
this year, so
but
he's
he's-
got his hands full there.
Yeah, no, I don't know if Whitney's like take it or leave it. I don't. I could take Whitney could leave the show, and within 4 episodes,
Yeah.
you'd be like, "Remember Whitney?" And I'd be like, "Oh right, that guy.
And
he
also,
was on
they're
the show,
not a
the weird
package
one."
deal. Miss Pat would still be on even if Whitney wasn't, I personally think. But I just want to say I had this moment of like, oh, right, this is when I like you. When cute little Madison's getting ready and he's like, oh, just do a smoky eye and let's get on with it. And I'm like, see, that's cute. And then
Yeah.
she's like, with these hooters, I'd look like a prostitute. And I'm like, I love all of that.
I know.
Give me more of that, Whitney.
Yeah, and he's
Not
like,
the
"Well, you
Whitney
look
right
like one
after that,
already."
where
and
he's like,
and
yeah.
she goes, "Okay, Satan, go put some black on."
Yeah.
like that's
Right.
it's those moments that I go. Madison would not give you the time of day if like you had nothing positive about it. Like there was no takeaway from you. Like if there was no like
His
you're not-
mom. That's the takeaway.
Sure. Okay. So that
and
I
her
yes.
job.
But
apparently,
I
according to you.
also just feel like she might have also gotten to know him to a different level than other people have because she has her own relationship, just like with this family. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convince anyone to like Whitney. I just want to put it
Seems
out
like you
there so that
love
it's not a
Whitney.
surprise if I ever do go. That was funny what Whitney said because I don't hate Whitney. I just think he's a loser. Loser.
A loser.
Yeah.
The next big chunk that we're in really is Sienna and Shep's conversation. And I was,
Sorry, real quick.
oh yeah.
Just when they cut back to the hotel room and Austin's like, dude, why are you getting so emotional to Craig? And he's like, because I'm a defender of what's right or whatever the hell
Yeah.
he said.
Craig is sensitive to justice.
Yeah, I'm sensitive to justice. And Austin is like, okay, dude, you're sounding like JT.
Yeah, I
And the
nailed it.
look on Craig's face, just so insulted and offended.
I
Dude,
know.
I peed my pants. There's a good one. Austin got back in my good graces this episode.
Well, I think
We'll
we
get
all
to that.
realize like Austin has been such a pain in the ass for so many seasons that I feel like we all started out the season being like, I don't like Austin. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what, like, blah. I'm so glad I know who he is. If I ever met him at a bar, I would no interest. Like, I've thought that way. Him being sort of with no story all year has really made me like wish for the days of Craig and Austen again, of just like, which
Yeah.
I'd had enough of them. So if this was a planned thing and you did this because a lot of people were feeling this way, bravo, I'm in. Like, you got me.
Yeah, I'll, again, not to jump ahead, but I also wish Craig would have mentioned his whole thing sooner because then we would have had a story. Like there would have
Yeah.
been something. So yeah, but whatever. We'll get to
there.
that. But yeah, down at the beach. for
Oh
the-
yes. Okay. So
Finally.
yes, they're finally having this conversation down at the beach, And
Total shocking.
I am always shocked when people aren't observant of body language, right? So she gives such a half-assed hug, does not kiss him hello, and his exact line was, I don't know where I stand. The hug hello didn't tip you off. The no kiss.
We all
That's how-
do.
That's how you know where you stand, Shep. She doesn't even want to touch you. She doesn't even want to be around you. And then she's happy to accept the gift. Like, that was so wild to me.
I feel like I have to say that the gift was not nearly as horrible as I
Dude.
thought it
Wait a
was going to
minute.
be.
Natalie,
For
I wrote,
real.
I actually like the necklace for a bohemian moment at a Malibu cookout. I'll admit when I'm wrong, Mike.
Yeah, it
I
was,
actually really like the
it
necklace.
was like it just was really well done. Like
Also-
it could have been on a puka shell
That's
necklace.
what I was thinking,
with,
like hemp.
Yeah, that's the first thing
Yeah.
I said this morning, and then you said puka shell, so I just like randomly said it right now. But that's what I was thinking. Like the things that we
Yeah,
all
it
had
could've
times
gone-
that we
I
would-
loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
should
could
not
have gone
together.
real bad.
Yeah.
And
Turns out we both want a megalodon.
I know.
Yeah, Carly
Carly.
T even
We
was
all
like,
want them for Christmas, Carly.
Yeah, so,
Wait, guys,
We're gonna
our
be
first
ordering
merch
them.
needs to be a megalodon.
dude,
I happen to know
that's
a jeweler.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Karen, buy some teeth. Does Sienna just have a bag carrier? Is that what you get when you're a Miss Bahama or a neurosurgeon? Like everywhere I've seen her, there's a dude carrying all her shit. I need that guy.
I didn't notice that.
When she got to the beach, well,
I
when
thought it
she
was
got
just
to
like
the
a guy
hotel,
ushering over to where they were shooting.
when she got to the hotel, we joked that it was her security guard, but it might have been the hotel guy. But either way, the guy brought all the things,
Yeah.
right? And then when she came down to the beach, there was a guy behind her again with a suit and a bunch of little goodies. Cool for bringing a bunch of goodies every time you come. Love that. But where do you get the guy? I need a guy.
We'll look into that.
Carry all my shit.
With all that megalodon money.
Yeah, I got a lot
Her
of shit.
football player boyfriend probably got her.
That's true.
She has a new
Backup.
boyfriend?
Hello, backup boyfriend.
Stop it. She has a
Are
boyfriend.
we going to
that's a
jump all
football
the
player?
way there? Because this is...
Jump all the way there. Who even said it? This was in the after show. Like it's not in the episode.
Yeah. I
Leva tells us about it in the after show. Leva and
Okay. Why did I remember hearing
See,
it?
now
And I
this
don't
is
know if
where
I heard,
we can say this football player is probably rich enough, famous enough,
yeah.
and all that stuff. Like Whitney was.
But he is backup,
Right.
so maybe not.
Oh, he's second string.
Yeah, it could be.
By
Brock,
the way, I'm not.
could be
any
Brock
string.
Purdy. He hasn't got his contract yet. So
She just says to the girls, she was trying to just make it a girls' trip. She was trying to nick Shep out of the trip from the jump.
100%.
Yeah, so she was at the dog party way back in the waybacks and told Leva and maybe Vinita, whoever else she was talking to there, that like, why don't the girls come? And Leva was like, she seems super cool. Like she just didn't really want anyone else but the
Shep.
girls to
Because she
come.
wasn't not just not in love with Shep. She wasn't interested in
they
him
weren't even
at
in
all.
a relationship.
But this is what's so crazy to me. How there were wires crossed because, and I know
You think?
no, I know. And I know
Courtney,
Nat-
coming in hot.
The wires could not be any more
I
like
kid.
she has done
I feel like
everything
there's
you can
a
possibly
follow-up
do,
here.
and he continue like
No.
like everything she says, he's gets
Yes.
across.
No, I have that note, but my point is, and I've got hold on, I'm sorry because we're jumping all over the place, so I'm getting confused with my notes. I was talking about when Shep went on. You said Shep was on Watch What Happens Live, and he said she told me she wanted to have a conversation when I was down, or no, I wanted to have a conversation before
Before the trip, yeah.
She tried to call him and have a conversation. Then he said,
Let's talk
"Let's talk
about
about it there." And then she randomly says, "There, I wanted to do this after the
That's
trip."
what I'm saying.
So,
Something's
like,
messed up.
I don't think it is. I think my take on this is that she wants to have a conversation. He says, "Oh, let's save it for the trip."
oh, and then at the trip, she's like, "Can we do this after?"
Yeah, they get down. She's like,
don't wanna do
"Dude,
this on
I do
camera."
not want to do this. Can we please do this after the thing?" And he's like, "No." So I think that's what it was. I think it was her being like, "I
Yeah.
tried not to do this on camera, bro."
But that's the thing.
if
She
you're
didn't do
gonna-
anything. Like every time he's like, yes, when he said, but we were in love. And she's like, I wouldn't say that. Or we were in a relationship. And she's like, no, we weren't. just be clear and say, I don't like you. I don't like, you don't have to be mean about it, but clearly this dude's not getting the hint.
But if you are the person that from the jump, either whether you want to do this call before or have the talk after, like, do you think like Sienna might be the kind of girl that like you're not going to push her to into a situation? She's been very clear. She doesn't want to do this on camera. She wanted to do it beforehand or afterhand, just clearly doesn't want to do it on camera. So she's just going to be like, fine, I'm just going to like, didn't say that. Not sure if I meant that. Wouldn't say that. Guess we'll see. Like she just was sort of like, if you're going to push and push and push, then I'm just going to be like, I'm not giving you anything. You clearly want something from me. I'm not giving you what you want. Like that's what I've been taking from her since she got there, which is, I don't know. Like everything was just like her saying, I'm not doing what you want. I've been telling you I don't want to.
I'm not playing your silly
It's
little
just
game.
so weird. Then why even show up and be on the show at all? Like, why show up and eat the bagel at the table? Why go to the dog park? Like,
I mean, listen, like, yeah, I wouldn't. I would not.
Yeah.
But she says, like, someone asks her that, maybe it was on her TikTok or whatever, and she says, like, I already told all these people they can come here. Like, it wasn't just Shep. It's an entire cast and crew of people.
But she didn't. I mean, she didn't have to show up to any of the filming
of
it.
No, of course she didn't. But like she had already agreed. And again, I wouldn't have. So I understand what you're saying. Like I wish that she wouldn't. She shouldn't have it. This whole thing. But like I do understand that there are people that are like, I told all these people that I would show them around and
see, I think I don't think she's being completely honest about her intentions. I think she wanted to be on the show. I think she was out for clout a little bit. It doesn't make her a bad person. I just think like, no, you showed up to film with him time and time again because there was something in it for you. Nobody's that nice of a person.
No,
do you think
but
she could
listen,
have done way more? I'm sorry, you go ahead.
So again, like we talked about when a couple episodes, 2 episodes ago, when they first got there and she first came to the hotel and they went upstairs and it looked like she was going to get abducted. She was like, I've changed the whole thing. I've changed, which again, the words matter. And I think we got in a thing about it, but like it matters specifically what they said when he was like, why are you leaving? I've changed in front of you thousands of times, literally and figuratively. And she says, yeah, figuratively more than,
yeah,
figuratively
I
the
didn't
most
catch
or
that
whatever. And then, so like, I think to your point, why was she there in the beginning? Why did she come with the bagel and the dog part? I think in the beginning, it was cool. Like we were having fun. Shep was fun. He's kind of rich. I don't know how rich, but seems pretty rich. Like we're having a good time. Yeah, sure. I'll go to Charleston. We'll do the bagel. Like Craig's farting in my face. A little dog party. Like, oh, you guys should come to
Craig the dog.
Yeah, Craig the dog. You guys should come to the Bahamas. It'll be so great. And then they have a little moment off camera, like, oh, our kids would be so beautiful, but whatever, like you do when you're in a, that honeymoon phase of a new relationship. You say all kind of dumb shit. And then she has some business and some work that she got to go to South Africa. And then on the Instagram, maybe, and now Shep starts fucking losing his mind. What's going on? Why are you there? How come you won't call me? I get it. He gets getting a little, what do you call it? Clingy, right? And now she's like, bro, chill.
But
he's not going to chill. Nobody tells Shep Rose to chill. What do you mean chill? How come you're not talking?
He's got it all figured out.
He's got a plan. Now he's starting to get a little weird. And that's what she means. You changed. Figuratively or
but
literally.
I'm saying she wasn't there for him ever. Because if she said at the dog party, like, let's just make this a girls' trip, she never wanted him to come down. She never wanted any of that. It's not, and he hadn't gotten all crazy clingy at that point, according to your timeline.
Well, I don't know what the time. I'm just trying to explain why, like that. The changing line. The wife changed in front of you 1,000 times. Yeah, figured whatever she said. That line to me was explained everything from her end to me. I was like, oh, I see what happened. This guy, Shep's fun. He's a fun dude. And then he went fucking gaga over you. Rightfully so. Fucking neurosurgeon, the blood lab, beauty queen, like, who's not? And then you put some shit into his head, which again, not blaming you. Like I just said, we have all done it in a new relationship. I try to still do it today. But then Shep got weird. Shep it was 6 weeks. It was 2 months, whatever it was. So I think Shep got weird. And so again, that little moment where she said that in the hotel room, it to me explained everything I needed to know about what happened. And so I think that I don't know. I think that the Bahamas trip without Shep, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Maybe Leva, like that doesn't
I agree
seem
with you
suspicious
that he got
to me.
weird. I'm saying her from jump, something's not
Listen,
Minnie.
Sorry.
I agree with you that. Oh God, now I'm forgetting what.
Sorry.
in the
Minnie
middle of
always
this-
does this.
She always does this to me. She's
Yeah.
sabotaging me.
She really is.
she tried to.
Oh,
she
yes.
got on the show for
Yes,
clout, maybe.
yes,
yeah.
exactly. I agree with you though that like he definitely changed, got clingy, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm just saying I think there was something off with her for me from jump, wanting to be there for the show for
Yeah.
the
Listen,
exposure.
Again, if you go back and watch every single episode of Southern Charm that we've done, please. And then, but like I remember, like we were all kind of joking in the beginning that it was a tourist, the Bahama,
Totally. Yeah.
and that she wasn't real. Like we all joked about it forever that it wasn't 100% real for her. And then at some point, Shep lost his freaking mind, and it became super real for him. And I think I don't know. I think that's just what happened. She just was like, "Whoa, dude! This went from fun to like Looney Tunes
Can I
real
just
fast."
play
Wait, what?
something?
Oh yes, please.
Are you gonna make us look like idiots?
Pretty much.
You've been letting us blabber on for 20 minutes.
Do that for your
Whoa, bro!
So Sienna, Shep's kind of sort of girlfriend on Southern Charm, posted the conversation that followed this iconic text message. And I guess it kind of seems like she wasn't ghosting him after all. I'm a psychopath, so I took screenshots of the entire thing. So let's read the text together and then we'll make our own conclusions. So basically, Sienna made this TikTok where she was like, I didn't think I had the text from Shep on my phone, but I just went on my laptop and I still have the text on my laptop. So then she turns the camera to the laptop to show the text with Shep, but obviously I paused here because like I said, I'm a bit of a psychopath. And as you can see down here, she was texting someone from production. It says Kurt, Southern Charm Production. And I'm pretty sure the text says, yeah, you're checked in or you're locked in, something like that. Now on to the text from Shep. So obviously we've seen this text message way more than we ever wanted to. But what's interesting is that on her laptop, it says that Shep sent it at 7:26 a.m. For some reason, I always thought he sent it at like 2 a.m. Anyways, Sienna responded at 11:02 a.m. and was like, hey, I'm a little hungover. I had a walk this morning and I crashed right after. She said, I understand and hear you totally. I don't expect you to try to explain to me or convince me of anything for 3 days. And then says, how are you feeling? I still want to show you guys around and see you. Then Shep responds and basically just says, I said everything I needed to. I'm going to leave my phone in the hotel room. If you want to meet up with us, just text production to have them take you to where we are. Then these texts are basically just them discussing if Sienna's gonna come snorkeling or to the fish fry, the question of the century. And honestly, there's really nothing juicy about these text messages, but feel free to pause and read it for yourself. So yeah, I don't really know if these text messages tell us a lot or tell us nothing at all, but I love to read a good receipt as much as I know you guys do, so I thought I'd share.
Is that what an in love guy does? Like her saying, no, I want to still hang out. And he's like, I'm leaving my phone in my room. If you want to like meet up, like you just text production. Like all this guy has been trying to do on camera is hang out with this girl nonstop. Oh, wait. Oh, I'll make the boat wait. Tell him we won't move without you. And she's like, no, I'm a little hungover. But I still want to hang out with you guys and do whatever. And he's like, he says, I said what I wanted to say. Because he just wanted to say the things on camera. I said it in 2 rooms. You're
You're gonna have to send me that. I'm gonna need to watch that again. By the way, you know it. I will absolutely admit I'm totally wrong. I just need a hard proof
Wrong about what?
that Shep has made all this up. Like he didn't actually like Sienna. It was all for the.
I think that he did. I just think
Or
it's that middle
the
ground.
way
It's
that
like
he
this
was-
whole thing was for a show. It was for a reaction of like, I
that
can't
was-
believe this girl's breaking my heart. She won't even talk to me about.
This could very well be after the boat. Like I think that there's a chance that Shep, full on love, blah blah blah. Once once the boat thing happened, that call when he was on with her and she was like, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm running late." And he's like, "It's fine. We'll wait." And she's like, "Well, I don't know how long I'm." And then he
No,
calls.
this isn't that day. I was just using the boat as like an example. Like this is like,
But this seems like after
he says
this.
like, I just want to be present and do like this. This is what he's saying in this text. Like there is that like yeah. Oh, he's had enough of her shenanigans, so he's saying, "I'm leaving my phone." Like this is what a normal person
But
would
Craig-
do. All I'm saying is that nothing else that he's been on screen has.
Craig told them. So what I'm saying is there's a chance that like I got the sense that during that phone call where she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to make the boat." That's when Shep was again, real or not. That's when Shep started to be like, "All right, now I
Yeah.
officially know where this is headed." Then he got to the boat. He was sulking. He was walking down the dock. That's when everybody was like, "Oh, look at sad, saggy pants." Like they were all
Yeah.
talking shit.
Yeah.
The whole boat ride, they were like, "Bro, she didn't like you. What about Molly? She's so cute." They were all with Molly. Shep, so they get in the water. He stays with Madison and is like, "Maybe I'm a piece of shit. Maybe I don't deserve this." So he's having all these realizations, right?
This isn't
Let
the
me
boat
finish.
trip.
But so what I think is like, this is after.
No.
This is before.
When did they go scuba diving? Isn't that before the boat trip? Isn't the boat trip like the second day and scuba diving is like the first day? Or
I mean, I think this text was the morning, 7 a.m. of the boat ride.
because he says in here.
Yes, it was before they went. It was right before, because remember, they were all deciding where they were. Some were going to go on the scuba, and some were going to go
he says,
barbecuing.
I think I'm just going to go. This is what the text says in here. I think I'm just going to go scuba diving. I don't know. I just kind of want to dumb out or whatever. Like, so all I'm saying is that the entire time, all he's showing any of us and on camera is saying, "I'll go anywhere. I just want to tell her how I feel. This whole trip is for her. We're supposed to be a thing of our love and whatever." And then so for her to say like, and listen, what he is saying in this text is exactly the advice that I would give him to say, like, you had your chance. I've got plans with my friends now. I told production I'd do whatever, So like, it's just that he's not ever said that to us at all. All he's told us is how Sienna can't get a hold of her. She's not answering her phone. She's too sick to go here. She went home last night. I guess she's not coming to the boat anymore and whatever. And for any guy that is saying that the entire time, this whole trip is about a symbol of our love. I got a prefix menu for dinner.
Get in your mic.
Oh, I got to like everything that he has done is to say this entire thing is for her. I would do anything to see her. We'll wait. We'll do this. Where are you? Where I want to see you. I want to tell you. Blah blah blah. So for him to then make the sane normal person decision of like, I said what I had to say. I'm going to leave my phone here. If you want to meet up, you could just text production.
Remember, they had the whole conversation that she was going to hang out with all those other people, and Craig's like, "I'm not hanging out with her without you." She said, "I'm going to come to the barbecue." Because half the people were going to the cooking thing.
Right, but
or
this
fish
is
fry.
her saying, I want to meet up. And he's like,
yeah, and then he went in the room and said that. He's like, she's going to meet up with you guys. She wants to meet up.
I think these times. So like scuba diving, fish fry happened. She didn't show up. They were going to go to. She wanted to go to the fish fry, right? She was like, "Oh, the day before,
and that's
I'll
when
go
Craig
to
was
that."
like, "I'm
right
not."
at dinner, right?
And then
the next day, Shep was like, "I'm going to go scuba diving," and Craig was like, "Wait, but Sienna's going to the freaking fish fry? That doesn't make any sense. I don't want to hang out with her if you're not going to be there." And he's like, "Well, that's what she wants to do." And then they were like, "She's not coming to the fish fry." Sorry, Christy, that was a little Office Space, but like, she's not cut right. So then Shep goes scuba diving with Taylor, and she never makes it to the fish fry, right? So Shep stays up all night, gets wasted. Nobody knows where Shep is. 4 a.m, gets kicked out of the casino, whatever, right? 7 a.m, beep, boop, bop, boop, boop. I know we have a thing. We're suspect. That's the big text that he gets up and is like, "So I sent her a text message last night or this morning," whatever, right? That's the paragraph that then we're like, "Has she written you back? Has she written you back?" No, not yet, not yet. Which she didn't for 4 hours. She didn't write him back. So that seems pretty true. By this time, Craig, Austen, Rodrigo are all just like in a room with this dude being like, "Yeah, dude, this shit's a wrap. Like, stop. This isn't happening."
Yeah.
We probably don't see most of that on camera. Rodrigo, every time they cut, he's just like, and how am I doing here? I want to
The
go.
straights are nuts.
Dude, these guys are so gay. Like, that's what he's thinking, right? And so I think then now we're getting ready for the boat trip, right?
No, but this is on here. It says, I'm a little hungover. I had a walk this morning. I crashed right after. And then I understand here you totally, I don't expect you to try to explain to me or convince me of anything for 3 days. How are you feeling? I still want to show you guys around and see you. And he said, I felt just fine. I said everything I wanted to say and everything that I felt. That's important to me. I'm going to leave my phone in the room and try to be present with everyone. We'll be on the property goofing off all afternoon. Text production when you want to come. Just got back to the room. Some going into the fish fry. Some are going snorkeling. Leaving in an hour. I told them I'd do whatever they like me to. I think I'm feeling snorkeling because I can just be underwater and not have to think or whatever. But like all I'm saying is that for her to say like I'm ready to come and meet and whatever, because she's even though Craig said she's not coming to the fish fry, that's weird. She's the one that ultimately dicked out on everything, according to him. She says on a phone call that I thought we heard. Either he tells us that she said this,
she said she's
or
like, I don't feel well. My stomach is
actually.
obnoxious.
She goes, I think I don't want to sign on for that. Like she says, like I don't want to take that on. That because it was something weird that you were like, it's a fish fry.
Right.
You're gonna take it on like it's a fucking
But
job that
because
someone's
she
like, oh, I
got
don't have
sick
time to
at
do.
whether she did or not, her
Hungover,
excuse
she
was
said.
Right.
But she said too, she left dinner because she got a stomach ache.
All of those things, everything you're saying, true, great. All I'm saying is that for her to finally say, I want to meet you, I want to see you, and I want to meet up. And for him to say, I'm leaving my phone in the room, like that's just not the vibe that he has been giving us. You said what you had to say.
So you think she
on
planned
camera
this
in
whole
two different
thing, but then
Well, I've already said
slipped
all
up
that.
on a text message that
God.
could be like screenshotted and sent to the world, which happened? He slipped up there?
Sure. Like I don't know if he really thought it was a slip up. Like I don't know if he was even thinking about like he's texting
Could it
Sienna. He's
be
just saying
that-
like, yeah,
could
you know,
it-
I'm leaving my phone in the room. All I'm saying is that don't you
I'm
think
not-
that
I agree.
everything
Listen,
that
I'm-
we've seen is like not like he wouldn't leave room for. Oh yeah, if I see you, I see. If I don't, I don't. You know, it's just like
Here's
not
one
been a vibe.
one way he would. Again, male perspective. And maybe girls do this too. I don't know. I'm not a girl. But if you really like someone and you get the sense that they're just not that into you, but you're like, no, I think she likes me. I think she likes me. A tactic towards the end
Yeah.
might be, meh, I'm gonna try to.
Mike, I'm with you. That's the normal guy tactic. That's the tactic the world should be using. This is just like he's not shown us any normalcy, not a
even when
scent
he's-
of normalcy.
But
I-
he's because
when
he's
you-
crazy in love.
And when you reread
So
the
if you're
texts-
crazy in love, you act crazy. And when you start to realize that love is disappearing, then you do crazy shit to save it. Like maybe I'll pretend like I don't like her and see what happens. Be like, oh, I don't care. I'm leaving my phone in the thing and we'll see what happens.
So I guess we caught the one split second that he did that when the rest of the entire 3 days he's been like, I know you feel it too.
'Cause
You
it was-
love me. Like
it
he's
was
not playing it
towards
cool.
the end.
not-
It's he's grasping at straws.
he was grasping it from the minute one. No?
What?
He's been that way. He's been acting a fool since he
No,
first saw her.
this text. I don't cool, whatever. I don't care. I'm leaving my phone. That's a grasping at straws. That's him realizing I don't have any more options. What should I do?
Okay.
I'm not saying this is what happened. This is a hypothetical podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone gives their opinions, and this is like
Oh, you're going to tell me how this works? Yeah. I'm aware how this works.
so. There's a chance
Yeah.
that it wasn't.
It's an option.
It's not fake. It's not him. This is a last ditch effort to try another tactic. Yeah, but that's not. So you guys in your crew are right, 100%. This is totally
I'm being
fake.
cheeky. I'm
Shut-
doing my camera.
No, I know.
Looking at ZB, being like, "You're hearing this right?"
Yeah.
I also do think out of those texts, that's what I was talking about when I said there's something fishy about her showing up.
Yeah.
Like I want to see you. I want to show you a good time, not you guys a good time. And also she doesn't end up showing up for anything. She's flaky Jakey
Yeah.
the entire time.
Yeah.
And when he says like, I think I'm going to pick scuba diving so I can just put my head underwater and not think.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Drown,
is
maybe.
yeah, like that's just showing to me that it's not all an act personally.
Sure. Does it make any sense at all though that like this is the one time that he actually had some self-respect and said, no, I'm not just waiting around
Well,
for
yeah,
you
because
when
you
all
gotta
he's
remember-
been doing
But
is
you're
waiting around.
Wait,
for
hold
What
on,
him.
you're
hold on.
doing is assuming that this wasn't a last ditch effort. What you're doing is assuming that 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 Shep's either like letting down his guard or assuming this text is never going to be seen or being like, I don't care. Like that, you're assuming it's that. You're saying like, no, that's what this is, right?
I'm actually not sure what you're saying, but let me just say what I'm saying, and then like we can move on from it because like I said, I think that the person that commented last week about there being a middle point that like there's so many
Totally.
things I think nailed it to
Yes.
the point of like no return. Like I definitely think that this is the very middle. All I'm saying is here's just a little situation, a little action of his that doesn't line up with everything else that he's been shoving in our faces this entire time. And I understand that what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. So we could just move on from it because I already understand. I just want to be clear. I get it. I understand. I don't know what.
No, I know you do.
truth
This
is.
was just something that popped into my head. This is a new piece of evidence that I would like to submit to the jury, please, Your Honor, if that's okay. If you remember, if we go back, right, and think about every time Shep is fulminating and expressing his undying love towards Sienna, right? It's so loud and big and colorful. But and I've said this before, every time he gets on the phone with her, remember the phone call? I was like, his voice changes. This is why I'm like, he's not that good of an actor. When they're sitting there having that conversation on the beach, he's much more subdued. And when he's saying to her, but you have to admit, like, we were in love. And when he's talking to the guys, he's like, I told her I loved her.
Yeah.
And we are in love.
Yeah.
It's such a different tone and tenor that he takes when he's talking about it rather than when he's talking to her. So the way he talks to her tracks in the way that he's texting her.
But the action of all I want to do is be with this person 24 hours a day and tell her everything that's on my mind and all the things. And then to say, I don't more like, it doesn't matter to me that you're trying to meet up with me right now. I'm not even bringing my phone. You can text, like it's basically call my assistant if you want. Like there's just a casual blase whatever about this that is shown nowhere else in his actions.
Fair point.
So
Fully
that's
fair
all-
point.
so that's
Fully
all
fair
I'm
point.
saying.
Yeah, I agree that absolutely could be an option. I'm still on the team where it's like, no, I think that's him like trying to be like, I'm leaving my phone at home to be like, don't you want to be with me? Don't you want to be around?
Yeah,
me?
I would have liked to see some more of that.
Also,
And-
Craig is the one that told him to leave his phone at home and spend time with his friends and not get caught up in it. So
And so he's listening to him.
no, but even if he's like still I think there's a chance that he's like, oh, you know what? That's actually a good idea, Craig. I am going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell her I'm leaving my phone and she can deal with it. Like it's Madison telling Austen, you know what you need to do is not call Craig.
Yeah.
And you see how he does without you in his life.
Yes.
And I
All
think
normal people would take that and do that. That's exactly what I would tell anyone to do. That's what you would tell your friend to do.
it's not, but
It's not?
it's not what I would tell I would not tell my friend.
To kill
I
her?
would be like, oh, let's get out of here.
Because we can't get into this again just because none of us have the bandwidth for it.
Yeah.
The Vanita JT thing, because now we get to the dinner, is still just as confusing. Because what she said at the dinner, at this point, I think everybody knew that people were dating around and he just ended up choosing that other girl and Vanita got the short end of the stick.
100%.
I think it could just be that simple. And I'm so disgusted with myself that I've thought about this much because
I
I
know.
can't even believe, because I'm so disgusted with Vanita that she's thought about JT and like JT this much. Like,
I think it was Nettie who posted a comment about how mad Vanita's mom's going to be. Or
Yes,
something
that
like
was
that
such
when
a
she
good
sued. And I
Nettie's
was like,
comments
dude,
are
I
great.
want to see that reunion.
Yes.
Just the two of them, Nettie's mom or Vanita's mom, just like, I did not raise you like, just giving her it.
yes,
That'd
you
be
have ticked
so-
your last talk,
Yeah,
girl.
dude.
Get off social media.
so
Stop trying to
funny.
defend this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of Vanita's interview is taken out of context. Like the entirety of her pink dress interview
It has to be,
is
right?
a field day of
choppity chop.
contextual misplacement.
But she says again, if he has a girl, and this could have been in the after show, I don't know. She says somewhere, you know, about how we talked about last night when we talked about this, like that, like she knew that he might have been like dating someone, but it like that wasn't a relationship or whatever. The way that she goes off about something where she's like, if he has a girlfriend, I feel sorry for her because he's given all the attention to me. Like, what was that in?
That was she says that during the dinner scene. Right?
Oh, that's right. Okay, maybe it was during the dinner scene.
Or
Like,
I'm sorry, I mean the dinner scene from this current episode.
Yeah,
but I think what Mike's saying, which I agree with, is she could have said that after they had dinner at her house.
oh, does she not? So that part is in the pink dress?
Yes.
And like, oh,
she
okay.
said that in the pink
okay.
dress too. That's why I'm like, I threw my hands up. I'm like, I don't even know what to think about
Yeah, I
anymore.
think she'll clear it all up at the thing, but I am
hope
I am
so.
not feeling bad for Vanita anymore. I think that she went into this whole thing maybe not knowing that he was like in a full-fledged relationship, but like definitely knew he's seeing other people. She put herself in that danger zone, acted like she is not the girl that is ever going to be seeing someone who is also seeing someone else. I'm not judging her for it. You can definitely do that. I'm not cool with it because my ego's gigantic. So like I just couldn't deal with that. And it's just like too much of a head for me. But like I feel like her doing this whole like I'm not a homewrecker thing. Like no, but like I don't think you've got an issue with dating someone who's dating someone else. Like
Yeah, but that's fine. Like if
it's
like,
totally it is. It's
I don't think
totally fine.
Vanita's a homewrecker at all.
No,
I
no.
do. I think I'm leaning into my theory. Shocker. That he was dating a few chicks, which that's the
That's
fucking
the
crazy
shocker.
part.
That's the
like,
actual
yeah.
shocker.
JT's dating multiple women at once.
Yeah.
Man. So I think he chose the one and nobody knew it. And then when Vanita was like, I'm gonna throw my cards down, he was like, I made a choice. And again, they were friends. So she was a little bit like, wait, what? Hello. And also a little bit like, wait, but we're friends and you never told me that. Which is also makes sense because he probably had a little bit of feeling. We see it on The Bachelor every time I'm in love with two women. It can happen. So, you know.
And also when she said that thing that you just said, Nat, where she's like, if he's flirting with me like this, I feel so bad for whoever he's dating.
But she's like snarkily kind of,
No,
you know?
100%. But that could have been after the dinner at her apartment.
Yeah.
Where now she's been through the straddling, him sending page-long text
Yeah.
messages to her, and him being at the house, having the best time with her, eating this dinner, saying, my mom, you know, you're my mom's favorite. She hopes that like I end up with you. And then he drops the bomb that
Which, if he did meet the girl with Bunny, because like
Yes.
the girlfriend is saying,
yes.
so JT's actually saying like, my mom likes you better than my
Yes.
girlfriend.
And so then for her to then for him to say, but I can't do this with you because I actually have a girlfriend. She could have just been going off in her confessional being like, you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for her because look at how you're talking to me. Like I think it is chop suey
Yeah.
with that interview in the pink
No,
dress.
you're totally right. Yeah.
Wait, did we not love?
What?
Oh, I said that.
Oh,
Okay.
you're so right, Boo Pie.
No,
We
we
are so
I was gonna say
right.
we said that. Wait, how great was it when Madison called out the necklace? Like, oh Taylor, don't you have a necklace just like that?
This is probably the second time Madison has addressed Taylor all season.
Yeah.
It's
1000%.
just, like, and Taylor's like, reporting for duty.
What? That
was a great moment, though.
Yeah, fucking Chef, you're such an asshole, dude.
Oh
You're
my
like,
God.
no, you got the great white. That's the megalodon. Like, and I tried to tell you guys, a megalodon is way better than a great white.
Well, she
Don't
has her
tell
own
the table
megalodon
that.
because I think someone hired her to model it. So she probably has that same one at home too.
It can be true.
Or they're
I
probably
would.
like, "Do you want to keep the jewelry?" And she's probably like, "No."
Yeah, no,
Wait, guys.
I got one.
I was screaming when she's giving when Sienna is giving the analogy of like, Shep wants someone to be a
Bro,
passenger
the best thing
in
I've ever
his
heard in my
line,
life. Yeah.
in his life or whatever. And Shep's like, I don't even have a car. And he's like, I'm kidding. I have a Buick. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Dude, her
He's like, "It's not
line
that
though,
cool."
Shep wants to be like I wrote down.
No, that was a great line, but I only cared that he's like, I have a Buick. It's not that cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
so you know.
I think, I wrote that she nailed that line. Like at that moment, I was like, all right, I'm fucking full-blown team Sienna.
Oh my, you can't even
whatever
remember her name.
is. I'm team her. Team brain surgeon. But like she nailed it. Like Shep wants a passenger in the car ride of his life, and I don't want to be the passenger in Shep's life.
Yeah,
And,
remember
like,
he sweet talked
so
Taylor
great.
into quitting her job so that they could travel everywhere, and then he breaks up with her.
Way to go, Taylor. Good job.
By the way, that is on Taylor. I mean, she made the decision, but like Shep wants a passenger. And
Yeah.
the
When
car of
Whitney
his life.
goes, are you ready to settle down and move and maybe spend half time here in the Bahamas, half time in Charleston, maybe get a third place? And she's like, well, to do any of that, we'd have to define the relationship.
We'd have to be in a relationship.
Yeah, and he goes,
No,
well, what? Who?
She said define the relationship
have to
because that's
define
what
the
set
relationship.
Shep off, being
Oh,
like, this
got
is
it.
a millennial term. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like this.
And she's like,
Well, I thought he said that in the beginning when he was like, we were in love, da, da, da. And she was like, we weren't even in a relationship.
Yeah.
And he's like, I hate defining things.
I
No,
know.
she literally said to do that, we would have to define the relationship.
yeah. And then Whitney says, or somebody says, so are you, maybe it's Whitney. How would you define the relationship? She's like, we're not in a relationship. It just the way she said it was like, it's like if you would ask me like, do you think you could sell your boondoggle keychain company for $100 million? And I'd be like, interesting question. I'd have to procure some boondoggles, see if I could get a deal on some bulk keychains, start an LLC, and then sky's the limit. Yeah, sure. Like there's no,
I don't have that company.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's no
To sell.
like
Yeah.
you're gonna.
How would you define your thing? I don't have a thing.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no thing. Like I can't do any of that. Why would I do any of that?
My definition would be, I don't have one.
Yeah.
It does not exist. Yeah.
She was so grossed out when Craig was like, he got blackout drunk and passed out on a chair at the beach last night.
Dude.
Her face.
I wrote, Wasted Craig came back out to play. That was nuts. Haven't seen that in a minute. I do not miss that Craig.
Yeah, I don't miss that Craig either.
That was not fun.
Oh my
That
god.
you loved Craig. And
Yeah, I was like,
dude,
of
course we're on
missing,
opposite ends of the page.
I'm a lawyer and a storyteller. Like I know that we've seen that thing a million times, so like it's whatever. Like it's still funny to me. But how was Molly the only one that was
Dude.
like? Like
I
that was
can't.
hilarious. Like if that happened in the moment and I was there, I think I would piss my pants.
Same.
I get that, like, no, we don't want Craig going back there, but like, you don't miss, like, were you like just hearing him say that I'm
No,
a
but-
lawyer and a story?
Listen, that part I thought was amusing. But I don't like drunk people. So I don't miss that Craig at all. Like Craig is so mean when he's drunk.
He does
He's
get
so mean, man.
nasty.
And then they started showing all those highlights from back in the day, like
He's like wrestling so
dude,
much.
yeah, and at
Yeah,
the summer
was a
house,
lot.
like climbing up on the thing, and even Paige was like, "You need to stop talking."
Yeah.
Just like he's a not fun drunk at all.
Do you know it was just talk about going down swinging. When Shep kept saying, someone, I guess like maybe Sienna wasn't at the table at this point in the dinner. They were like, well, what happened? Like, if you guys aren't together, like, what did she say? And he goes, she just said, too little, too late.
Too much too soon.
That's more like it. And then they go by the bar because he thinks she's being, that they're giving her the 5th degree and, get up. I don't like this. This is making me uncomfortable because you're making her uncomfortable when meanwhile she was totally fine.
Yeah.
And they get to the bar and he's like, I hate that define the relationship stuff. It's so millennial. Are you a millennial? She's like, I don't know what I am. And then hold on one second. And then he's like, I get it. We've got this thing that's so special and we're just missing it by this little thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? When she goes to hug you goodbye in 4.5 seconds, she uses one arm and is like basically noogieing you and like, see you later, bro.
Yeah.
There was no window. It wasn't
No,
too
was
little,
a
too
10
late.
It was a garage door and it was a 10-car garage. Like there was there
that
wasn't.
was wild.
He's like, she doesn't want to. She's running for cover.
running from you.
Yeah, running from you. Doesn't want to say anything. She said it. It was English because there's no Bahamian.
We learned
Fun
that.
fact. Yeah, every single thing. I
Yep.
just like at a certain point, like the reason that I just keep like assuming it is what it is maybe because like how I told you, like I can't watch hidden camera shows, like
Yeah.
like it all makes me nervous. Like if my mind doesn't concoct a reason that this is all happening, like it's making me so uncomfortable. Like like please stop saying these outlandish things back to back to back to back. This dinner couldn't have gone any worse. Unless with the fucking firecracker saying she said yes, like, or when he goes to talk to the guy,
He's like, oh, no,
Shit,
no,
cancel
no,
it.
not yet,
Why-
not yet, not yet.
Why can't it rain?
Oh God,
Oh,
no!
dude, that would have
Or
been
when he
the
goes and talks
fucking
to the
best.
guys at the bar because everyone else
Dude,
is
and
like
those
having
guys
it.
are
He's
like, who is
you know,
this?
I'm dating that girl.
Miss
She's Miss
Bahama.
Bahamas, you know, and
we
I
really
feel like
have
they were
something.
like,
Yeah, they were
yeah,
like,
she's.
bro.
We know our missus. We live here. It's the
Yeah.
Bahamas.
Also,
oh, you're her boyfriend.
They're
Yeah.
like,
No.
you're cut off. It's so funny how like three people can watch something and see it totally different.
What are you
so,
talking? That never happens.
I know, right? So like when you're like, oh, when Shep took Sienna, let's go talk and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, she was fine. She didn't seem uncomfortable. And then she said, I don't know, but I am. So like, I think she was horrifically uncomfortable, starting to get real irritated at like these stupid questions, Whitney's stupid questions, Craig getting drunk. Austen was the one that was like, we got a problem in 10, 9, 8, 7. We need to get her out of here.
But he asked her a question too. One
He
of those
did, but he
weird dumb
was-
questions.
Sure. But he was the one that was, and again, timeline, we don't know
Yeah.
when that was.
Yeah.
Like he was the one that was like, oh, this is not going to end well. And she seems pretty uncomfortable. And I don't know if he told the Shep or Shep noticed it too, but like, he's like, you get her out of here. Cause this is not Craig's about to fucking explode.
Oh yeah,
And
because
so
Craig
then
had
they
a beer in
left.
his hand. Maybe Craig really shouldn't.
Dude, yeah,
ever
totally.
drink.
So, but then I like during that time, because they were kind of asking this, and she was just like, "Is that right? Okay, really?" And Shep's like, "Sienna, do you want to go talk?" And she's like, "You want to talk?" Like, sure, just her tone was like, I get that tone sometimes. If you've watched this show, you've probably seen it. Like, she just was fucking over it and wanted to leave and didn't want to be a part. So when he was like, "Oh, I hate the thing," such a millennial. Are you a millennial? I think, again, three people watching the thing and seeing it differently. I didn't see her monotone bored. I saw her being like, I don't know what I am, dude. Can I go? Can I
yeah,
go?
like annoyed, but
yeah,
not.
just
She wasn't.
so
They replayed it on the after show with that
over it.
photo of the exact scene. Are you a millennial? I don't know what I am. And a Chiron pops up, like just two like text box, and it points to him and says Gen X. It points to her and it says Gen Z.
Yeah,
That's
definitely not a
savage,
millennial.
and I'm
It
Yeah.
here
goes like
for it.
ding, you know,
Yeah,
like
sorry.
Love.
But yeah, I think she was uncomfortable, and I think she was just like, I can't take it
Yeah.
anymore.
Next
I
time,
gotta
send me the
go.
fucking shot list, man,
Or
because I don't
just
get it.
don't. Like, can I be done now? Is that a wrap? I feel like
Is that a
after
wrap on
that,
Sienna?
After, yeah, everybody like, that's a wrap on Sienna. Way
He's
to go,
like-
Sienna. Good job. We'll see you next season. She's like, the f you
yeah,
will.
lose my phone
Yeah,
number.
all of you.
Wait a minute.
Matt
I'm dying
from
to know
production.
something.
Never call
Yeah,
me again,
she-
Matt from production.
100%. She went back to grandma's house and was like, Grandma, these people are assholes. She ruined grandma's life.
I need to know this from Nat because I was it was like fireworks. Like just when you think they've stopped, here's like 10 more.
Yeah.
When they're hugging goodbye and she's just like, "See ya," and then she goes, "Don't hate me," and he goes, "I love how you smell."
I didn't hear him say that.
Oh, I was
God,
dying.
it never
I love how you smell.
ends.
And
Like,
then he's like, how could I hate you? I'm in love with you.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
It just was
That-
it
that
was the
wasn't
best.
even the best secret line that maybe nobody caught, though. We'll get to that in a
Oh,
second.
okay.
And just like the constant telling everybody, like, oh, she said this. She said she didn't choose happiness. And Austin's like, what does that even mean? Well, and I think he's saying it because he's like, I think what Austin wanted to say was, you're not, like, she didn't say that, dude. Like, we've seen this, you've been doing this all week that we've
Yeah.
been here. She didn't say that.
When we get back to like she left, Craig had thrown this question out to Taylor, and I was happy that he asked it. And I actually don't think Taylor was pissed about it because I think someone was like, "Oof, can't believe you said that."
Yeah.
He said, "Taylor, how do you feel seeing Shep act this way to Sienna
Yeah.
when you always wanted him to fight for you? And
I don't, real quick, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mind Craig's bluntness. I have a friend who I trust him with everything that I have. So I don't mind. I appreciate when he does this to me because I always know it's coming from a good place. So I don't hate that Craig does that, but there are oof moments.
Yes,
and that
absolutely.
was one of them where you're like, Craig.
but
Like
no,
I look at Austin and I'm like, yeah, I get it, dude.
I think it could have been one, but I genuinely feel like, you know how sometimes you're so in love with someone and then you just see one thing and whatever, you can call it the ick, but I think it's even deeper because if you're really in love with someone, one thing's not giving you the ick.
Right, but this has been about 374 things.
Right.
It's like 284.
Okay. Yeah. True. Fair point.
I was referring to my things. She's got the ick over it.
I think that Taylor has seen so much at this point that this is the best like shock therapy she could have ever received.
That's what I
And
think.
when Craig asked her, it wasn't an oof moment because she said in her confessional, and I genuinely believe her, and I will call
For the
Taylor
first
out all the
time, I
Same.
like entertained it this
Same.
time. Like I still don't know where if I believe her, but I believe that she is believing that in this moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, not only was I not jealous or feeling bad, I actually felt bad for Shep.
But she laughed when she said it. She was like,
Fine.
I actually feel kind of bad. It was too much enjoyment. She did not feel bad for him. She loved every second of it. And
I mean,
I
maybe a
still
little
love
bit.
that Craig asked the question.
oh yeah. No, the question was great. It was just like Madison's question. Didn't he get you that same necklace?
Yeah, it was great.
Like they both like Madison and Craig came to work.
Yeah. They're the
always
perfect
come to
amount of
work.
messy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you
guys, now
ready?
we're into the best part of the episode.
I just don't have a ton to say about it. Like
Are you
it was
kidding?
just that good.
Oh, fine. Yeah. No, I literally, I loved that conversation between those two dudes.
Yeah.
So much. What, you hated it? Are you
No,
barfing?
she sneezed.
I was
Oh,
trying
sorry.
to not get it in but now everybody knows.
Yeah, bless you. I love that scene so much between those two dudes. Like that scene is the scene that makes me come back for more. That is a 320-yard drive right down the middle on a short par 5.
I have no
You
idea
got
what you mean.
210 left. It's go zone. Like those are the shots that make you come back. You guys know what I'm talking about. Christy, you probably know. That was this scene.
In
I
all
was
seriousness-
so in on it. I'm gonna tell you.
Wait, in all seriousness though, just meaning like it's the perfect shot when you're playing golf
That golf sucks.
I thought he was talking about football.
No, golf. It's a joke about, or not a joke, but like they say about golf sucks, and you go golfing and you just shank your ball all over the place, and on the last hole you'll hit
Got
a
it.
perfect shot, and that's the shot that makes you come back next weekend to do it all over again.
See, now that analogy I love, and
Yeah.
I agree with you because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was so good that now I can't wait for next season.
100%.
And we're
Yeah,
still
I
in
can't
the
wait for
season.
next week. Like
Yeah.
I want next week. I just want to see them. I might go start listening to their podcast now. But yeah, that scene was so sweet and so amazing and so adult and cool and best friendy, and I love that.
And it was real.
Yeah, and it was real.
It-
and
you-
I've been saying that for this whole time. I do think that out of this whole season of hodgepodge bullshit, who knows what's real or not, I've always thought that those two, because they are real, I think they're real true
Yeah,
friends,
same.
that those two are the only thing this year that's been like a real thing. So
And I do love that it came together and made sense that because so much of the time it's someone withholding a piece of information and Craig just didn't want to say like, yo, I am an addict and I didn't want to come out now and say it.
yeah.
And I knew that if I hung out and did the stuff that we used to do, I could possibly lose everything in my life.
Yeah.
And that made it seem like I'm disinterested. I only care about my business. I don't love you.
Yeah, it was perfect. Everything about it,
It
was
was-
perfect. When he said that, I had to stay on my couch. I had to stay on my couch. I was like, whoa, bro.
Yeah, that hit me right.
That-
Yeah, it was
right in the
brilliant.
boner.
And like the way that it was received too, like it really just was like you couldn't have written
Yeah.
a better back and forth between two people. And I think how we've
I
kind of
pissed
like
with Shep
all
that he didn't
year
get to
been
star
like,
in that scene.
I know
Oh,
she's
yeah.
gonna be so pissed. He's gonna be like, "This was my moment." And fireworks are going
On
off.
the
The
background.
Academy goes to
He's standing there with
these
Craig
fireworks.
Conover.
a whole bottle of champagne in his hand, just draining out onto the beach.
We've been talking all year about like just like how annoyed we've been of like whether we thought it was real or not, like I think I didn't even like care enough for it to be real. Like it was so boring. The whole thing was like, God, I don't know what you guys are arguing about, but just get over it. This is so stupid. Even Madison's like, I'm so done with this. Cause like Craig didn't tell anyone about any of this. So all this looked like was the most boring thing. And it may just be the only actual, like the realest thing that was a part of this whole show, because life is not entertainment. Like you got to put these other things are entertaining because you got to make them entertaining. So just like watching someone like walk through life or like have I just am not really talking to him right now or whatever, like that, it will turn out to be the realest storyline that they had all year. And it was by far the most boring and just like, who cares? It's like, it was frustrating because it was so real. And that's how you know now that it was the realest thing on the show the whole year.
And I
Yeah,
really
so
loved
sweet.
Madison in the background, like the little fairy godmother, just kind of like, oh, they're hugging.
My job here is
Done.
But did
Like-
you hear? I didn't notice it until the set. Well, I noticed it the first time, but I couldn't understand. I couldn't make out what was being said. So I just thought it was like a family or some kids like screaming and hooting and hollering in the background during this like the time where they had just hugged and it
Yeah.
was like the most intimate moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, how pissed is the audio guy? Like just, whatever, thinking production guy stuff that like these people are ruining this moment. I rewatched it today and I heard something and I was like, wait, what? I rewound it. It's everyone back at the chairs screaming, make out, make out, hey, make out. I was in my office and I was just pissing my pants.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was great. Great scene.
And then honestly, the cherry on the top was when the next morning where they're like, oh, what are the girls doing? I think they're eating with flamingos. Craig's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, I saw that was an option here. Bought it.
Yeah,
done. And it was just,
Didn't even tell them, just let them wake up to pink flamingos trancing around.
made my
Like-
heart melt even more
No,
for Craig.
that's what I'm saying.
Pretty hot.
Craig,
You're taking. No, I thought you were going to give him your phone number or something.
I thought you were going to show him your boobs.
Yeah,
I
no.
will, Craig, whatever.
It's
I mean, listen,
good.
that's how good it was. Craig just
It was,
like
Yeah.
nailed it.
when we just did the summer house thing, I said, Craig is having the season of a lifetime. We'll get to Southern Charm next, but like that ending, holy mother. Like
I
this
know.
guy is the king of the fucking world. Like season 10, Craig is going to be on people's vision boards
Yeah.
for reality stars, you
He could
know?
be people's sexiest man alive or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Just a full entire arc. Like and ended it with pink flamingos as a gift to the surprise gift to the girls in like a beautiful backdrop. Like
Yeah.
And the irony that it was supposed
who
to
did
be
Craig blow to get
Shep's.
this?
That was supposed to be Shep's arc.
Yeah.
Wait, and isn't it so, you talk about great arcs. It reminds me of season 3, Roni, where we start out with, hold on, because people for deep cuts will get
I
this.
won't remember this though.
No, you will. It's when Jill starts off the season because she's like, I'm mad at Bethany, but I don't want to talk to her on camera because it's going to be good TV. And she rips her all season. And this is the season that every single one of her dreams come true. She gets everything she's ever wanted. Skinny girls popping off.
Yeah.
She meets the guy who ends up becoming her husband. Obviously, that's a debacle, but we don't know that at the time. She ends up getting pregnant. She ends up getting engaged. She ends up getting a spin-off TV show,
Yeah.
a New York Times best-selling book, and all of it comes out, and everybody turns on Jill. And she has this, Bethany has the arc of all
Yeah.
arcs. And it's like, when you're being authentic, which I do think Craig is being, like, to your point, you get the arc.
Yeah.
It is a little difficult to say that I needed to stay on the couch. I needed to stay on the couch and tell someone for the first time that you have a problem with alcohol while you're wasted.
Oh, I think he was talking
for
about the Adderall,
First
not
time in a long time.
I don't know what was on the after show and what was actually said, but he says that he has like addiction issues, and he says I needed to change my entire relationship with alcohol. And so I feel like that verbiage leads me to believe that it's like he just has an insanely addictive personality, and if he does like but he's not an alcoholic, and like that he has the disease that's like, I think he's an addict of things, of whether it's this, that, or the other. Like it's not so much
He's
alcohol based. It's just like he needed to get control
and why
alcohol.
he cut out hard liquor. I think he realized like, okay, I'm addicted to
Yeah.
the Adderall. When I do hard liquor, that's what leads me to the Adderall.
Yeah.
Like I can be a functioning adult having some beers or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's but he should address that at the reunion, because like that's just like at a certain point, if you're gonna come out and do that story, like that's some responsibility comes along with that. So you have to really like explain to people like, FYI, don't just like, if you're a full blown alcoholic, you can't just like have a few beers and everything else is
Yeah.
gonna fall into place. Like, so
Carl's
It's-
California sober.
I keep wondering, is Soft Bar going to end up being a weed bar because it's becoming legal
Dude, it
here,
should.
popping over, whatever.
be.
If they're lucky enough to get a license, he should absolutely capitalize on that. But I don't know if he would, because I don't know if he wants it to be able to be enjoyed by everyone who's sober, and not everyone. Like the majority of people who are sober aren't.
Yeah, he's
California
probably
sober.
more interested in a full sober clientele than the Cali sober clientele. But
Not a lot of money in seltzers.
and weed.
There's
No,
not
it's
a lot of money in weed?
Oh, you said not
Not a lot of money in
Sorry, I thought you
seltzer.
said
Yeah,
there's
just
a lot
like
of
a
money.
non-alcoholic seltzer, like club soda. Isn't that the
Yeah.
free stuff? They just shoot in your
Yeah.
glass whenever you want a little.
I
Okay,
thought
here
you
you go.
said there's
It's
a
free.
lot of money in seltzer, and I was
No.
like, well, and weed. No, this can go in or not. But I wonder if Craig is. So my best friend in the whole wide world is how we met, Crosby, and we for a hot second we maybe thought Crosby was the alcoholic, but then we were like, no, Crosby's a partyholic. Like Crosby doesn't have a problem with alcohol. Crosby has a problem when the party starts to end. Like when Crosby starts noticing that, like, wait a
Wait,
second.
did someone go to bed?
Is someone going home?
Someone's missing. Did someone go to bed?
Whose car keys are missing? That's when
Yeah.
Crosby loses it every time, sober
hilarious.
or wasted.
Yeah, like you wouldn't get in a fight with him until like he realized that you weren't there anymore. And then he'd be like, Natalie!
Yeah, dude. So I
You
wonder
would
if Craig is
just-
a partyholic. He just is
Yeah.
he's a FOMO-holic.
Okay. I don't know if anyone has anything else, but I'm gonna look
Okay,
for.
I don't need to tell you about how I might have switched my mind. That's fine. We'll do that some
Please.
other time.
Go on.
It's not that big of a deal. And I'm not saying I fully switched my mind on Shep. And if I did, I don't think it was, I still don't believe that it was concocted. Not saying that it couldn't be, but I don't believe that it was concocted from the jump. But how mean the girls are being to Sierra.
Sienna, but being mean to her.
How mean the girls are being, and how like, oh, poor Shep they're being, started making me be like, oh, I don't know if this was a redemption story plot from the jump, but it definitely seems like one now, because there's no reason they should dismiss her or be mean or be like, any of the things that they've been saying. Nobody's been real nice to her.
I gotta go back and rewatch it. I didn't see them being mean to her.
I think
They're
towards the
going over
end.
the top also in defending Shep, and they're doing it in the after shows too, and they're going on podcasts and doing it.
Yeah,
and
maybe
they're
it was more
saying
the
things
after
like,
shows and
Shep's going
podcasts,
to tell
but,
you who he is, and he never wavers. And if you don't like okay, like is Shep like, if you don't
Yeah.
like it, you can right off. Like I never. Yeah, Shep's not a pussy, but he's not like, I just, they are going above and beyond to really describe him as something, and sort of like explain like why he's doing this, because
and
he's gonna
make
go.
her seem like she's got this backup boyfriend in the NFL, and she's with financiers in Africa on that trip, and like they're just making. And listen, maybe it's all
I was gonna say,
maybe
it
it's
could
all
be
true, but it made me be like, oh, this is the first time I've been like, oh, well, that seems like everybody teaming up for their boy and shitting on this girl who did nothing wrong at all. And from what I've seen, and
No, I
again, we
haven't.
always go back
Yeah.
and forth on what do we do on Showmance? Are we deep diving the show that they present to us, or all of the extracurricular information that comes along after and when
That's
the
what I'm
show's
doing.
not airing,
But
right? So
I've been doing that.
I've been saying though that there's some, my spidey sense is a little up on Sierra. Like I just
Sienna.
oh no, I'm doing it.
got him.
on Sienna, where it's like I feel like she showed up for the cameras, the clout.
But she could have showed up the whole time, and she didn't. That's what gets me. That's what I've been like. That would be the easiest story for all of us to believe, right? That like she just wanted to be on this show and wanted to like get some attention. Now she's got a TikTok and whatever. But like, if that's the case, she would have been on this whole ride with them. She wouldn't have missed an event. She wouldn't have missed a
She
party.
could have gone so hard.
Number
so
one.
much
She could have
harder.
gone balls to the wall and become like one of the most famous people like on Bravo right now.
No. I'm not saying she wanted to be a full out Bravo celebrity, but I'm just saying it's like this. This is what I'm saying. You know, when you were single and some guy, I don't know, maybe you never did this, but maybe some guy asked you out and you weren't that into him, but he was really rich. And you're like, okay, well, at least maybe we'll go to an interesting restaurant. Or he was famous and you're like, well, okay, maybe it'd be a good story.
Courtney, I've never done that. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay. I've never been in a Ferrari. I guess we'll go take it for a spin. So maybe it's just game recognized game.
Yeah, no, that would be the easiest thing. If she did that, she was about as successful as Shep was at his
But also
redemption
she could have gotten there being like, I just want to dip my toe in just enough because this is crazy. I don't really want to be on the show, but like get a little bit of notoriety for it. And she does genuinely sound like she has a really busy schedule.
Yeah.
If she's traveling to South Africa for work. I mean, I'm traveling to like the Valley or
I love
for
that
work.
Shep kept being like, I'm going to Cuba tomorrow. I'm gonna be fine. I'm going to Cuba tomorrow. Well,
Yeah,
tomorrow
did
I'm
anyone know I'm
leaving
going
for
to Cuba tomorrow?
Yeah. So
I have a flight leaving tomorrow for Cuba.
yeah, you guys are all going back to Podunk
Are
town.
you even
and I'm
allowed to go
going
to Cuba?
Yes.
If you're Shep Rose,
Yeah, right.
you can do whatever you want.
Well, join us next week.
No, we're doing comments.
By the way, Judy Murray 191 said, I miss Olivia too, and I'm so happy she's now engaged.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was engaged.
Yeah, and I'm so happy she's engaged, but I feel like it means they probably won't have her back.
But wait, do we know if it's the guy that she was dating the last time she was
I
on
think
the
so.
show and everyone really liked him?
I think it's that same guy.
Oh, I'm really happy for her.
Don't quote me, but I think that's who it is.
Well, maybe Judy, you can
I
tell us, but
know.
I'm thrilled for her.
I don't have to read the whole thing because it's kind of long, so I'll just read the first sentence. This is from Nemo22 without 50. I'm with the dude on this podcast. That's a great comment. And I'm with you, Nemo.
So I don't know how to pronounce this. Palaver Girl and then Literal Red both say the same thing about Craig. They say, I've been watching since S1E1,
Yeah.
which I love that people are getting on that term. And they both said, Craig never lies about other people. He only lies basically to
Yeah.
cover up his own failings. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but that's just because my memory is muddy and I got to go back and watch some stuff. I still think that our take on him, where it's like he's just doing a synopsis and I don't actually think he's looking at it as lying. He's just a storyteller. But I do think that could hold water. I think there's some merit to that.
yeah, if we're talking about the JT thing, I still don't think I still trust JT less than I trust Craig. So I'm just still going with that. And I don't know if you remember our friend ZB. She had something to say.
There was a good exchange between ZB and as editor Carol.
Yeah.
Today that was
Editor Danielle.
editor Danielle and ZB had a really good exchange today that was fun to read. But then I made a comment that was like, this Craig it's a game of telephone at this point, right? Like Craig is just playing that children's game of telephone. But then in regard to the thing about JT, we talked about how crazy it would be if during the reunion, Post finally finds the mysterious missing audio.
Oh, I'm sure that is like,
that'd be
like
crazy.
that is if they've made this thing as big as they have and don't come out with the audio later being like missing footage found.
Yeah.
Like that, then you're not doing your jobs, you know?
Agreed.
What if it comes out in the next couple episodes and that's why JT leaves?
It probably is. That is what I have been thinking this entire
that
time.
would
That
make
like
this whole thing
that like
really.
that
should
is
have a
why. Because if
podcast
you
where
don't
you would
leave
say
after
those
that
kind of things.
dinner argument, what are you waiting for? Like, what worse thing could happen?
Also,
then?
I'm just still, even if he does leave next week, okay, great, bro. The second to last episode, I'm so fed up with JT.
We were screaming
making
for
this
him to leave in
huge-
the first episode this
Correct,
season.
but that's because he made this huge deal out of, a whole formal statement. Like, I'm surprised they didn't, roll this out as like the White House, where it's like,
Listen.
I've left. This is how many confessionals
What if
I've
he's
done.
not really leaving? And
No,
this
but
is just a story.
No, what if he is? And we all remember maybe we don't, 'cause we blocked them out of our freaking memory because they were so horrible. But the first 6, 7 episodes of this season were total freaking
Snooze fest.
trash, snooze fest. So this shit doesn't get aired live. Like, production was probably like, boss, we got a problem. We need somebody to put out some crazy ass tweets because we got nothing until episode 8. And then, I don't know, like maybe that was a thing. JT, you're leaving anyways. Can you do it before the season starts? Because now everyone's going to be like, wait, what? Oh my God, we got to tune in.
It really
We got to see
did
what
keep you
happens.
holding
By the
on.
way, that
Exactly.
might have been why Vanita got a dirty edit, because nothing was happening and we had to wait so long to get to the
that they had to
Bahamas.
pull
Yeah,
something
They'd-
up in
yeah.
front. Totally.
Yeah.
So because I just want to remind everyone that like these two were like, ZB's the smartest person in the world. And I just hope that they like remember that they thought that she was so super smart, because she
Even
really
the smartest people in the
is.
world can be wrong once in a while.
I mean, I'm the one that read her first comment, and it wasn't even for me. It was for you guys. So I'm a equal opportunity,
listen.
lover of our
ZB
people.
said she was an academic, which I believe that she's probably very tired and overworked and sometimes probably gets a little confused at what
Listen,
she's thinking.
yeah.
She says, I too noticed JT's facial reactions during his conversation with Madison and during his conversation with Leva. He never gave an emphatic no. I absolutely did not use that word. He said, I don't believe I would call her that word. And I remember thinking, believe? What do you mean by believe? It's either you did or you didn't call her that. And on top of that, when he says that, both times during the conversation with Madison and then with Leva, he looks up and looks down to the side, thereby breaking eye contact with them. All the signs are there that he called her this at some point. Whether we ever see it or not, I don't know. The way that Craig is saying, like, I stand by it, loud and clear. You said what you like. The way he's saying it with the confidence that he's saying it makes me think that production told him, we have it, we're gonna hold on to it. Like, it just, all those little things fit together. I don't know if it will happen, but like, to throw it all out for so many people to be like, he didn't say it. I don't believe that he said it. I just think like, you got to leave a little room for like just the little nuggets that you're seeing along the way here of like.
I can go with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't be super, like I think it would be fun if production did that.
Yeah.
And given the season, like it
would be
seems like
a-
super shady
we
that they
deserve
would
it,
do
quite
it.
frankly.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm still like, I think him being like, I don't believe I said that word. Like that's a little, to me, like that sounds like something JT would say, how he would phrase something.
No, that's true. That's true.
You know?
And it might not even be that they have the footage. It could literally be as simple as that, like whoever maybe the showrunner goes and tells one of the AEs, we're going to bring out the reunion and you're going to say that you just heard, or not the AE, but like a production assistant, like whoever, and being like, I was on micing him and he said that. So I witnessed it. And then we'll all be like, well, either is this kid lying? Like it could still be all a he said, she said by the end of it. But I have a vibe that they are going to pull something out that lets this continue on to be like maybe he did say it or whatever. Cause it's just like, I don't know. It just seems very
Listen.
like what?
If PAs are unmiking talent,
Whatever.
We
we
you
got
know
a
what I'm
bigger
saying.
problem
You know
on our
what?
hands.
Listen,
I'm calling the union right now.
I don't know, on a reality
Filing
show,
the
it
greeting.
seems like it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, especially in Charleston, probably. I got one from Judy Murray. I think Mike is right. I'll finish, but that's how it starts. About how Craig interprets what is said to him, but ultimately agree with. I don't know if I remember reading all this through. But ultimately agree with Natalie that words do matter.
But
more.
here's the thing.
The
Listen,
words do matter was actually
I
Courtney.
do think that.
well, I said it first, but you were trying to say it, and I think I interrupted you.
Okay, well, thank you.
Like,
Yeah, okay.
but here's the thing. I don't want to tell Judy that because Judy was not a fan of me for a long time. She was the one that was complaining about my cursing, and like 3 different comments brought it up. So,
Well, you did curse a lot back in the day.
Yeah,
and
you
now
really-
who is the cursor?
he's always
What if-
cursed. He's
but
never-
I get muted.
yeah, you know how much time that takes, Natalie?
Not that much time.
It really, I still miss like 75 of them, and I go through it for
I
an
think-
entire
Yeah.
1 entire 2 hours. I sit there listening for curse words, and I still miss like 25 of them. It's because that's how much I love them. They're like second nature to me.
But you're not gonna let me finish Judy's comment. I think Mike is right about how Craig interprets what is said to him, but ultimately agree with
wanted to say
Natalie
that
and
part
Courtney that words do matter more. I try to choose my words with care and would be so pissed if anyone quoted what I said in that manner. If Craig was in the courtroom and pulled that, the prosecution would object. Craig gets away with it a lot because he flashes that cutie pie smile.
Yes,
and we
girl.
all melt. He needs to be accountable. I hope it comes out on the reunion show. And Madison needs to apologize to JT. Madison didn't need to be so brutal when confronting him. It was a mean girl takedown. And although I'm like, JT, you're an idiot, Madison was a little.
I agree with all
gnarly.
of that. And she did give him an inch when she apologized.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full apology. It was like an apaw.
Wait, when Madison apologized?
Yeah, to JT.
Wait, when did she apologize?
I feel
to
like
JT?
she's
It
in
wasn't-
on it. Because that Watch What Happens Live was after this whole trip. So
No, but
for her to
remember in the
say
Bahamas?
he's the most honest, he's the best friend, he's a blah blah blah, like it just tells me that like something came out later on, or she just was like playing along for the time being. Because why would you still say that if like you literally believe that like, oh, JT was telling the truth and he didn't deserve
No,
to
because
be.
she says in the Bahamas, she's like, I didn't need to go like that hard. Like she's like, I'll forgive him an inch or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think she was still annoyed with him.
Yeah.
That her marriage was even brought up
Yeah.
in any way, which I can understand defending your marriage like that. But
That did happen though. She did. That husband did call JT. That was, and I hate to even admit that. Well, I think we've admitted it before though. That was a very weird phone call for JT to have to get, of the husband being like,
yeah.
where, so then what? And then what? But it
Yeah.
was really about Austen.
So, yeah, not. Here you go. Here's
Come
the
on,
mark.
JT. If Austen was there, just assume it's not about you.
Well,
I love there's just one comment. Craig's always been opinionated.
Period. I honestly can't argue with that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is interesting. I wanted to see if anybody else remembered this because it's my response to it was like, I clearly need to like go back and rewatch. It's been too long. But so editor Danielle Marie says, whoa, remember when Naomi dumped Venita as a friend at the end of season 8 for doing exactly what she did to JT, not coming to her defense at the table when they needed it? I am no fan of JT, but it is odd to make such a big deal out of how much he means to her and how close they are, and then to see her do exactly the same thing and not have learned anything from losing Naomi. Super odd. So I am sadly and reluctantly starting to wonder what Venita's motives are. Was that a thing? I don't remember.
I read that comment too, and that's the only reason I didn't bring it up because I was like, I don't remember it. I have to.
But like,
go
is
back
it
and
ringing
rewatch.
a bell? Like, are you like, there was some, now I do remember there was something with Naomi and Venita, but I don't remember what they were, like, what was
I
the
believe
issue?
editor Danielle. I just don't remember it at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
I believe women, and I don't remember it at all.
I could be totally wrong, but do you remember when no one was sticking up for Olivia when they were shitting on Olivia at the house?
Yes, that I remember.
I think Naomi was also not sticking up for
Venita.
Olivia.
Naomi wasn't sticking? I think this got to be two different things.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah.
Time for a S1E1?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I gotta rewatch. Well, we gotta get out of this because I have no voice left and Mike's dying and Dad has to pack.
For once,
for a
I am
trip.
excited to get back to Charleston. It seems like there's some little black tie affair that we've got coming up. I hope it's at Miss Patricia's. I feel like they usually are. There's usually something there, some little shindig at her house. Yeah, I'm just excited to see Craig and Austen like back and like maybe they're going to be back in their
Yeah.
normalcy. I know it's going to take a minute. One thing that Craig said on the after show was like that right after this had happened, you know, a couple months later, the thing with Paige goes down. Craig talks about how they're like in such a better place, but it's been a work in progress, and how he had told Austen, you know, in that Watch What Happens Live thing, Madison says that Austen is the biggest gossip. And then so what Craig says now made sense to me just to think about him calling him the biggest gossip on the show. He said that the thing with Paige happened, and he was like, all I wanted to do was tell Austen, but I just didn't trust him. So he's asking me like, oh, are you still going to Europe or like whatever they were supposed to be doing for Christmas? And then he's like, I couldn't tell him that I wasn't. Obviously knew I wasn't anymore, but then I'm in Aspen, and now it looks like I've lied about where I'm going, but I can't tell anyone. I certainly can't tell Austen, but I really wanted to, but I'm getting there. So it's just like, I wonder, there seems to be more about Austen maybe being a little gossip and maybe being someone that repeats things that you say and you just can't. I don't know. I think it's interesting to me to be kind of hearing about this just because it just seems like the show didn't really cover those moments of like, but for Madison to say it and for Craig to say it, like clearly something.
Yeah.
Clearly Austin's a little chatty Cathy.
Where there's smoke.
Yeah. So anyways, we're going to roll right into Summer House. So stay tuned.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Love you, ZB. Bye. Call me later.
Pew, pew, pew.
Ciao, ciao.
Guys, what is happening?